Oh, this bike is so awesome. All right, hey guys, Johnny Nerd Out. We got another custom e-bike build today. This is a build that is after my own heart. This is the build that I would probably do myself if I had to have one bike for the rest of my life and you can only have one. This would probably be top 5. So stick around. We're gonna go over exactly what we did to it, all the components listed out. We're gonna do some performance tests. We're gonna do top speed tests. We're gonna do hill climb tests and try not to die, you know? All right guys, so if you're new to the channel, I'm Johnny Nerd Out. I convert bikes into custom e-bikes. Got an online shop, johnnynerd.com. You can buy all these components that I have here. I'm gonna put links below in the description. If you wanna outfit your bike like something like this, everything that you see here that I'm talking about that we're gonna show, I have at the shop. So if you wanna support this shop, you want me to make more videos like this, awesome, check below. Okay, this is the Salsa Timberjack. This is a cool bike. It's a hardtail. It's got 27.5 inch by 2.8 inch tires. So these tires are awesome. They're kind of that sweet spot. If you've seen my videos before, you've heard me talk about like sweet spots. Now it depends on what kind of riding you're doing, but I do feel like these wheels and tires is all purpose as you can get. They're 2.8, so they're not fat, but they're mid-fat. You can let a lot of tire pressure out of here and you could go on the beach, you could go on super sand, you could take it to the dunes, you could put really high tire pressure on it, and this could be a commuter. It's kind of that sweet spot, in my opinion. You could really make it do whatever you want. It's got a front suspension fork. It's a hard tail, which means that there's a lot of space in here. This is a large frame, so there's plenty of room in this triangle here to put whatever size battery you want. With this one, we went with a 72 volt, 15 amp hour battery pack. This is the largest capacity in 72 volts that you could get in a Shark style battery. I do have the 72 volt, 20 amp hour, but it's not lockable. If you're gonna be using this as a commuter or leaving this anywhere, you really wanna have a lockable case like this. And this battery could put out 80 amps, which is what this X1 Pro, the CYC X1 Pro Gen 4, it'll pull 80 amps at its peak, which is, you know, at 84 volts, when this thing is fully charged, times 80, that's like, almost 6,500 watts, which is almost, what is that, 8 horsepower, something like that? I mean, this is crazy on a little tiny aluminum bike frame, which I know a lot of you people are saying that's too much horsepower for an aluminum bike frame. I'm not here to argue with you, that's for the comment section. You dream it, I build it, and I don't judge. I think this is awesome. You don't have to use 6,400 watts at all time. That's the thing. You could dial it down. And this is torque sensing, so you can put it on your lowest pedal assist level, and this thing feels like a 500 watt mid-drive. You put it up to 5, and it feels like you're riding an Angry Hornet. Like on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but the opposite, where if they took like a Hornet and they blew it up, they put like a lasso on an Angry Hornet. That's what this feels like on 5. Because this is the X1 Pro, this is the 32 tooth version. There's 32, 38, and 40. 32 tooth is for acceleration and hill climbing. The 40 tooth would be for top speed. In my opinion, I really like this 32 tooth. It gives you crazy torque, but with this tire size, you still get really good top speed, as you'll see here in a second. We also paired it with the CYC drivetrain. This is the first time we've done the build on the CYC drivetrain. They built this, I think, for this motor, because this motor is so powerful. People are like, you're just gonna destroy your drivetrain. CYC's like, we got you. This is built for this motor, essentially. It's a heavy duty drivetrain. It's a 15 tooth to 30 tooth. So it's not super high and it's not super low as far as the gear ratios, but everything here is super heavy duty. So I'm curious to see the reliability and longevity of this drivetrain, but I think it should be pretty good. It uses the Advent shifter and the Advent derailleur, which is micro shift. One thing to note about these drivetrains is that they're only for through axles. There is no quick release adapter or anything like that. So if you're gonna use this, it's just the hub. So you're gonna have to get this rebuilt into your existing wheel, which might run you 150 to 200 bucks depending on your local wheel builder. And the shifter is about, I think it's an 8-speed shifter, but it's only a 5-speed gear set back there. So you have to set your limits so that it's not going crazy, which I was a little surprised by. But I guess it's future-proof? I don't know. We added a rear rack. There's no eyelets or riv nuts for adding like bolting in a rack. So we went with the universal rear rack. This will mount to anything. This will mount to, full suspension bikes or hardtail bikes that don't have mounts for it. We also went with the integrated turn signal light kit. I really like this light kit. It has working brake lights, so when you hit the brakes, this one, we don't have brake cutoffs on this one, but if you had brake cutoffs on this, which you could easily add, it would activate the brake light. It has built-in turn lights, turn signals into this. It's not super practical in my mind, but it's better than nothing. But it also has a built-in horn, pretty loud horn too, actually. I accidentally bumped it with my elbow and I almost went deaf because it was right by my ear. And just like a 600 or 700 lumen front light and a pretty bright rear light, which is just really nice. I like, and it runs off this battery. So this is one of my top picks for light kits. We used a universal light mount to go up on the handlebars. This is made for this will work with motorcycles or bicycles or whatever. Again, check out the links. If you're interested in anything like this, check the links below. We went with the DS103 display. This one's a nice big display. It shows you a lot more information at a glance versus the SW102 display. Got the toggle switches here. Oh, we added a thud buster, King Creek thud buster suspension seat post. So it doesn't have a rear suspension, but this kind of acts like one. It just takes out any jostle. We're probably gonna have to adjust this light, I'm thinking. So before you comment on it, I'm probably going to adjust this light so that it's not interfering with this anymore. I got to play with that a little bit now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, let's go do some hill climbing performance stuff. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so you can see even with the lowest sprocket, this is not geared for top speed. Still got 53 miles an hour out of this setup. And I probably could have eked out a little bit more, but traffic was coming to a stop and I was like, I mean, 53 miles an hour on a bicycle it gets a little squirrely. I don't know. I don't like it. Hill climbing, I mean, this is where this thing was insane. Absolutely insane. I couldn't keep the front wheel down and it would accelerate like the hill was flat. And that's the Widowmaker that you guys know. Most bikes struggle up, but they'll usually get up it. I mean, this one was just like it was nothing. I can't describe how insane the acceleration is on this bike. You really have to be careful when you're in highest power level and your lowest gear, because this thing is, the Newton meters of torque, it's over 200 Newton meters of torque, but you apply that to the gear ratio that is here, and it's just insane. It's insane acceleration. It's hard to keep the front wheel down. You have to, in the video you'll see, I was like, leaning over it, I still could not keep the front wheel down. So more torque than you can even use. Maybe you put like cinder blocks up here, like hang them, get a front rack and put cinder blocks over it, and then you could just accelerate like crazy. Or put like a wheelie bar in the back. Again, this is an incredible build, incredible bike. I really like it. We went with the full twist grip throttle. This is kind of geared more towards motorcycle style, I would say. I usually say the thumb throttle is if you're looking for it every once in a while, you want to hit it. But if you're a little bit more of a throttle jockey, maybe get the full twist. This is the CYC branded one, and I like it. I think it's really good. This whole setup is gonna weigh in at 62 pounds. So yeah, I don't know anything else that's got kilowatt hour of capacity. We'll do 55 miles an hour, and it'll still weigh in at 63 pounds. With the battery on, and you could easily remove that, and now you're at 48 pounds. So you could easily put it on your rear rack, all that stuff. I could go on and on and on about this bike, but yes, this is a top 5 build that I think this would fit almost anybody, top 5. Obviously you dial down the power and all that, but for me, Armageddon bike, this is one of my top 5s. All right, keep building weird stuff, guys.